Welcome to the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. This is Sonia G. We're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about 12D energy coming in. We're going to talk about the event, the gamma blasts. We're going to talk about all the things. I'm taking Q&A, and we're going to talk about the goddess on mission. So welcome everyone. As you get on, I'm going to sip my tea. I'm super excited to be here. Yay, we have time to talk. I'm excited. So, if you have questions, I should have probably actually, let me pin a comment really quick. Q&A. I love when my phone automatically speaks Italian. Thank you for all the love. I see all the love. I've missed you guys. I see all the hearts. I love you. Okay, so I think it shows you the title, but we're just gonna say Q&A, and then we're gonna say GOM, and we're just gonna use all our freaking acronyms tonight. It's awesome. Okay, because I love you guys. Hi, lovelies. It was so crazy how much love I sent to this tribe while I was at Lake Powell without reception. I was like, I'm tuning into my tribe. And I know that some of you felt it. You said that you could actually physically feel the support and the hold. And I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's going through this transition and I'm not talking to them. I am so love this tribe. I love you guys. Hi, welcome. So excited. So, Christina, yeah, you were telling me, you totally felt it too. Yeah, it's amazing. But one of these days we need to just set a time, and maybe we'll start a thing with the Galactic New Year, which happens in July, where we'll have some kind of reoccurring thing where we'll just go meet up at the Stargate. We should start doing that, have astral meets. That'll be awesome, and change the world that way. Okay. So I've had lots of questions because we're changing the world in many ways. I've had lots of questions about all the stuff that's happening in the world. So let's talk about it really quick and kind of just close up this 3 to 5D bubble of things and the shit show that's happening right now. So if you have questions about that, this is the time we're talking about it, okay? So there's just all sorts of things that are happening, all sorts of 3D keep you in the vibration of lower frequency tactics happening. And one of the things that is very wildly spread right now and wildly felt is the fact that there's a split in the people, okay? The tactics are bombarding, and there's a lot of people that are now starting to see through it. You're getting whiplash from, hey, there's a super infectious virus. Hey, Black Lives Matter. Hey, now we're back on the virus. Hey, now there's a new issue. You're starting to see that things are oh my God, worry about this, fear, and worry about this, fear, issue, problem, right? So some people are starting to see that, and this is, the Great Awakening, and so this is happening. Some people, instead, what's happening is this situation is wearing them down. So they're actually starting to be whoa, dude, maybe that's right. No, okay? Don't be that person. Don't be the person that gets that the thing wears out. And mostly stay in your lane if the people around you begin to give in. It's kind of like kids, how kids wear out the parents? The system can wear you down. It's kind of how they break you. If you go to jail, I mean, not that you want to go to jail, but I'm just saying, if you did, right, this is how they break you. Or the army, or whatever, the system. These are the systematic breakdowns things, or even if you go to impact training, right? Those of you that have done impact training, these are the same techniques. I mean, I only know this because of the movies, right? So I'm just saying, but if you go to any kind of trainings, you go, and not necessarily the movies, the fake movies, but we're talking documentaries, right? Where we see the things that happen, / you have friends, and everybody knows somebody that has been there, done that. So, okay, point being, some people are getting worn out psychologically, and they're whatever, there's a virus, let's do this thing, they're going into it. Don't go into it, okay? Stay in your lane. This is the breaking point where the reality is completely split. And for some people, certain things won't touch you. And for some people, certain things will hit you, okay? So the thing, let's talk about this virus, whatever. I'm not saying any names because it pisses me off, because there's energy. If you say the name, there is energy inside of the name that all gets funneled, and it gets funneled into entities that suck it, okay? Every time you're talking about trendy motherfucking words that are set off by the government, okay? Like all the campaigns. Who do you think creates all the campaigns? Like the Me Too movement, let's all be sheeps. The Black Lives Matter movement. Oh, wait, it's going to fund like people in the government that are white. Side note, if you trail the paper trail, the Black Lives Matter movement actually goes to fund campaigns of people in the government that are fucking white. Okay, do your research. Go and look at who owns where the funding goes, because it's pretty like straightforward bullshit. Okay, so with that, eyes open. So there's that. Also, okay, so we're not talking about the name of the thing, but we know the thing we're talking about, okay? So because this is the funnel takes money. It's like, you know, like energy vampires, this is what's happening, except it's a system, it's the government. It's like energy sucking through words, okay? That's like black magic. If you don't think that the government uses like remote spies, black magic, remote viewers, psychic warfare, like you need to think again. Like this is the year where you need to wake up. And I'm not talking about this to you guys, but I'm talking about this for you guys as friends, because you know what I mean. Like you may want somebody else to tell them these things. Sometimes it's hard to have these conversations, right? So you're just like, you gotta listen to this blonde girl that always talks about these things, like that. So anyways, so the point being is, if this was actually a fatal virus, and if the government was actually worried about it, do you think that they would have ever allowed any kind of protesting to actually happen? Wake up, wake the fuck up, right? Like, you would not be allowed to protest. So why did they do that? They created another split, another separation, because everything, and this is the biggest question to ask yourself, with everything that happens in the world right now, does this make me feel like it's this against this? Does this feel like separation, or does this feel like unity? Because everything that has to do with the fight of Black Lives Matter, every life matter, freaking all the colors matter, all the whatever the fuck, okay, you're picking a side. You are made to pick a side, because if you don't pick a side, then you're a bad guy, right? And you don't fit in this society. So the point is, you have to go and feel, do I want to be in separation, or do I want to be in unity consciousness, right? Where is this making me be? Like, where is my alignment? So this is an important thing. So with that, do you really think that the government, if they were seriously worried about it, they would have let people protest? No. Do you think that the government would have allowed chains like Walmart and like, Amazon to still run their show if this was like lethal and detrimental to but it's really funny. And a lot of people are starting to see this. Like, it's really funny that you can't walk into a small business. There is a situation with a virus, but you can totally go into motherfucking Walmart because that's safe. Like, we feel good about that. We feel like the money for that business is going to the right places. Like, do you see this is about funding, money, politics, and who runs the planet. This is what all of this is about. So then they decide, hey, people are already rallied up. People have been held in captivity of their homes for so long. We're getting them to freaking shut the fuck up, to put a mask on, which is like throat chakra bullshit. Remember, this is a throat chakra activation moment of our planet, and a lot of people got shut up. A lot of people actually muted themselves, like on purpose, which, for some people it was actually a good thing. I saw some things going around on social media, like, thank God some people stopped talking today. But the point is, if you're not adding value to society, to the world, to the people, you probably should not talk. This is something that my mentor Gary told me, right? He would always hold me to it. He's like, look, you're ahead of the game. If you ever raise your hand in class, it's because you're adding value. So check yourself, right? So he gave me this as a challenge, as like a next level up. And I was like, he taught me so much by that, because if I open my mouth, I'm going to say something that adds value. I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna, gossip. I'm not gonna bitch around. I'm not gonna do that shit because it's pointless. It's just energy going in circles. That's ridiculous, okay? So, okay, if we need it, we have a charger. So, anyways, add value. When you talk, add value. Then you should never have to mute yourself because you're adding value and you're here to do your work and to further the frequency, of the planet, further ascension. So that's a game. Okay, so back to the fact that if this was actually a thing, okay, and a real thing, first of all, there would not be this much controversy around it and the numbers and everything else. But the point is, you wouldn't be allowed. If the government was actually worried about it, they would not be, riots would not be allowed. Gathering in public places because Black Lives Matter would not be allowed. Doesn't it make you feel like, hey, look at this. Let's make it like, to be completely bluntly honest, right? Look, let's start a movement about Black Lives Matter in the moment, which I don't even like to say that sentence, but anyways, in terms of the energy and where it goes, right? Because clearly discrimination is a thing. So let's say this, okay? Discrimination is a thing. People get absolutely mis-fucking treated. And it's horrible and it's horrifying, but it's not like it's a cultural problem. It's a cultural issue and people need to deal with their own motherfucking bullshit and their own judgments and their own healing. Then the planet can keep going, right? Because it's, there were Black people setting fire to Black businesses. White people hating on white people hating on Black people hating on white, everybody fucking hating on everybody. So we're not solving shit. And the government is there saying, sure, people, go and commingle and bring on the virus because we want you all to die, right? Why would they do that? Think, okay? And if they actually believed it was a threat, would that be a thing? No, it would not be a thing. Okay, so now we're all on the same page with that. That's a bunch of bullshit. And that shows you that the government will direct you wherever they want your attention to go, okay? And there's a bunch of sheep that are like, hey, forget my problems. Now I have something to fight for that is for society. I'm just gonna get lost in this movement because it feels good to do something that makes a difference and I should probably make a difference. Go make a difference in your own personal life. Go make a difference in your family. Go make a difference in your children. For some people, this is actually a big deal because for some people, this is a generational thing and they do need to go and do that. So if you feel that, I support you 100%. If you need to go out there and pick it and do the thing, then do it, okay? And scream and be heard. I've actually done protests myself, not for this, but for other things. But it's sometimes you just really feel it. But don't do it if it's because you feel like you have to and it's the trendy thing in society, you should, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, but if something inside of your blood, inside of your cells, you're like, I need this for myself, for my healing, then power to you. Follow your alignment. That's what you need to do, okay? And don't tell anybody, don't let anybody tell you different. You gotta do what you gotta do. And that's always the thing, that's always true, okay? So obviously you know where I stand, but I am fully in support of everybody that's like, hey, this is what I feel it in my heart and I know I gotta do this thing. Then you gotta do the thing because there's nothing but alignment. So you gotta do the thing. Very important because this is about the healing and this is about the throat chakra, okay? So your voice must be heard. And so if you feel like your message has to be, it has to get out there, then you got to do it. And you got to do whatever it is that you got to do because this is a throat chakra activation. So don't let anybody dim your light or dim your voice, right? And whatever you have to do. But I feel like this is the tool. So you can use this as a tool, but it may not even be about that, right? So you have to follow your alignment no matter what is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's the thing. So now they're saying, hey, we didn't get enough of a slowdown of the economy. We didn't get enough of a pull on this thing. We should probably have a comeback of this virus thing. So we should probably just have some people riot and get together. We should probably let them do this. And then we'll say that, hey, it was contagious and a bunch of people got sick again. And now we got to shut shit down again, right? And then there's doctors behind the scenes that are like, this is bullshit. These numbers are all inflated, right? Because it's true, because we know, right? Just like the voting, just like the things that happen in the 3D world can always be rigged. They can always be faked. 3D can always be faked, okay? 5D and above cannot be faked. So when you actually get together your energy and your power to the point that nobody can fuck with you, that's real. You can't fake that shit, okay? You can't fake it. So this is a world, we're moving into a vibration of a world where you cannot fake it. Because if enough of us get together and meditate, instead of vote, instead of do rallies, we actually just need to get together and meditate. We move mountains, because that's the place where energy cannot be faked. If we shift as a world and we shift upwards, that cannot be faked. It doesn't matter, right? But they will continue to bombard the mainstream to get people to believe whatever it is that they want to believe. I mean, can you blame them? If you were ruling the world and you had a bunch of people paying you taxes and you lived in fucking luxury, doing all of this horrible shit, trafficking children and women and sex and scandals and bullshit and politics and money and all that, like, why? If you don't have a conscience anymore by that point, why would you care? Kill some people over here, get some people biffed off over here, you know, let people die over there, let's torture some people over here. I rule the fucking planet. Why do I care, right? This is what's happening. So that's what's going on. And some people probably don't even realize, you know, it's like in the Bible. I talk about the Bible a lot lately. It's kind of funny, but it's like, you know, when Jesus is having that moment and he says like, forgive them. Father, forgive them, because they do not know what they do. I feel like sometimes there's a part of that. Like, people don't realize how horrifying the shit that they're doing actually, like, there's no way. Like, they get to this point, like the child trafficking and the things that they do to kids. And you guys know this. If you start digging into things, there's some horrible, horrible, horrible things that nobody ever has the balls to talk about, right? Because it's so bad and it's so horrible. But if you follow some of the prompts from Q, oh, you guys have asked me about this. What do I think about Q? So I think, and this is a statement that goes for everything that has to do with politics, okay? You need to go and get in your alignment and read the things and see what resonates from a place of you're in your heart, you're in your alignment, you're in love. Then you'll be able to pick it out. You'll be able to see, this is accurate, this is not accurate. Like, I feel like this is truth, this is not truth, right? Like, you'll be able to pick it out. Some of it comes from fear, some of it comes from fact. You have to have power of discernment. Just because there is a source that is mostly accurate doesn't mean that they're always accurate. Okay, so you really, this is about being able to know where you stand and how to tell. It's like sonar. Like, you have your own radar. You like check it. You have to fact check, but energetically. Okay, your heart will tell you. If you learn to stay in your alignment and your truth, your heart will tell you this stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to know all the details to know how the energy is operating. That's exactly right. Okay, so you guys are with me. Okay. Yeah, there are 0 riots about the trafficking. Thank you so much, Aggie. That is a good point. And there's a lot of that going on. And, you know, it benefits a lot of people, and it sure doesn't benefit the government, because think about it this way. Why are there no riots? This is a good point. Why are there no riots about the child trafficking? Because the riots that have to do with the child trafficking would be pointed directly at, they would unify the people against the government. They don't want that. They want riots that put people against each other. Divide and conquer, you guys. If the theme is divide and conquer, it comes from the system. Remember, like the old days, the whole history books, divide and conquer. No, unify, right? This is our world. We want to feel united. We want the love. We want John Lennon. We want, like, imagine all the people living life in peace. Like, you know, that's what we want. But that's the reason why certain things are not supported. So you start to see the agendas that are supported are the agendas that break the people apart. And that's why. Because they want to keep separation consciousness. They want to keep density consciousness. And they're going to get their own world soon enough, right? And the light and the dark will continue to exist in every world that's a dense world, that's separation work. That's part of the experience. At the end of the day, we're all going back to source. But in the meantime, there's been enough distortions where some of us have been here for lifetimes, right? And we're clearing out all of this karmic stuff in order to, you know, this is the last trip to Earth, and then we're moving on to higher densities, and higher frequencies. So for some people, that's the job. And this is who I talk to. This is my tribe. This is my people. This is like the soul fam. Today I was saying so many of you lately are like, you're coming in my dreams. You're coming in my dreams. This is this is the thing. I've had like even friends. I was talking to my friend that does my eyelashes today, and she's like, you came in my dreams, and I'm just telling you that was not a dream. And I was like, I know, because we are meeting. This is like lives. This is like, for some of you guys, we're actually meeting in parallel lives, you know, like we're actually, for some people, it's like we're having like a conscious meeting. We're having different things, but this is the truth about what happens when you're soul family and you signed up to receive triggers. This is activations, right? So I signed up to do the job that I did and to have the life that I did so that I could be here and be like, oh my gosh, I am ready, right? Like I've done my personal healing. Now I'm showing up for, and that doesn't mean that shit still doesn't come up, because it does, and I have to do my work all the time. So let's make that clear. But at the same time, I have enough room, right? I've dealt with my shit to the point that I have enough room to address the things that come up for me while I hold space for everybody else. And so because of that, I'm showing up in my purpose, I'm showing up on mission, I'm showing up for all of these things that have to happen. So a lot of times I am the trigger for people, and I am the one that, you know, wakes you up, or I am the one that does like something that it's not that I actually wake you up, it's that I give you the input, right? I push the right buttons, I give you the right tools, and I serve you with the specific knowledge and tools that you're like, holy shit, I'm awake, I'm alive, DNA is on, woo, everything is flowing. That's really what happens. So it's like, I'm just giving you the tools that you need. That's really what's happening. But for a lot of us and for a lot of people, what's happening is this information is coming in via, like, it's triggers directly to our DNA, right? These are the gamma rays. These are the whiteouts. These are the things that are happening that are being recorded in the Schumann resonance. This is like, it's automatically triggering the DNA. So for a lot of you guys, this is what's happening, and you're just like, why am I feeling all of this and then I'm also feeling all of that? Okay, like all of a sudden you're feeling the bliss, but then all of a sudden you get thrown down into like density. If you're doing like what feels like a bipolar situation, okay, because you feel the highs but you feel the lows, it just means that you have to clear more over here. So you have to focus on clearing, 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 clearing. It means that you're one of the people that is receiving the triggers because you signed up for the triggers, right? So you're like having to turn on real fast. So that just means that you have to like do the pedaling underneath to clear everything up and get in alignment real quick. If you did sign up for that, your soul knows you can do it, okay? Always remember that. If this is happening to you, it's because it's part of the plan, and it's because you can get the most out of your soul growth this way at this time right now, right? For some people, it's like if it's not in the nick of time, it's not like you're not like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, then you wouldn't do it. If it's like, I have so much time, then it's not on your mind, right? Some souls need the pressure, like to be refined like pearls, and then you get to be turned on and you get to go on. So, okay, I hope that let's see, what am I missing? Look up, oh my gosh, the Queen of England shit is unreal. If you don't know about the situation with the Queen of England, definitely. So look at the comments that are coming up. There's a lot of things that, in terms of the government killing, a lot of singers, a lot of songwriters, a lot of the people that we see that overdose, that have accidents, right? That's all bullshit. They just get terminated because they are onto things that, you know, people don't want to be explicitly coming out in the open. So it's worse than we imagine. Like the things that we know, it's actually worse, right? So there's just a lot. I had the worst night ever. Is it just me or what's going on? So these are the things that I just found you, and I love you already. I've been saying we need to find our tribe. Oh, welcome. Absolutely. It's good to have a place that resonates where you feel like, hey, these are my people, this is my tribe. And right now it's happening. It has to happen because it's a time. Otherwise you feel like you're crazy, right? But, okay, what was the question that I was, oh, the worst night ever. No, that's normal. Like, you're fighting the fight on the other side, right? So our throat chakra, the activation is connected to your subconscious. It's connected to your dreams. So everything that has to be worked out gets worked out in dreams, okay? Dream time is actually like, a lot of times it's like parallel lives or your subconscious working through stuff. So the more work you do consciously, just like the more you download consciously, the more work you do consciously, the less you do in dream time, and then you actually rest. But if you don't get your work done in like while you're conscious, then it has to happen in dream time because that's the only time you have left. And so that's when, you know, it kind of happens and it goes through. So, okay. So let me see. Yeah, and you guys will see certain things, like if you see the things that they do to the children and the trap, it's awful. It's really awful. And if you're a mom, if you're a parent, like I was not, when I started digging, I spent some time actually educating myself on it. I never actually spoke about it because in a way I feel like if you don't know what it is, and if you can just trust that it's so horrible that we have to get on the other side of it and put the energy on the other side of it, I almost feel like ignorance is bliss in this sense, right? Because it's so horrifying that you don't want to, like, it knocked me out. I was bawling for days. Like I felt like the awfulness inside. Like I couldn't sleep one night as I was like digging and digging and like it was worse than I thought, right? And I felt like it's the stuff that when you start digging and you start seeing uncensored images, like you can't unsee that shit, you know? So it's hard. And so yeah, it's rough content. Not content, it's rough reality, but it's like rough images. So just be aware if you do that digging and if you look at things. But that's the reason why I don't talk in specifics, because I think that the specifics haunt the mind in a way that is unnecessary, because it doesn't help. Like, it doesn't help to know the details if we feed the energy, and if the energy provokes fear and it provokes like these negative feelings that then attach to it, and then it's a train, and then sometimes we have to talk to other people. Like, if you don't have skills on knowing how to deal with these things, which thank God I do, right? So I had to like process all of it and clear it and forgive it and send the healing, and for me and the Ho'oponopono, like, and all of that. Like, it's intense. Like, you can't just walk away from it and pretend like you didn't see it or pretend like you didn't know it, right? And so it's just intense. So point being is you have to have the skills to be able to process through it, because otherwise if you don't know how to deal with it, you're going to end up talking to somebody about it and then taking them down, and then it becomes like gossip. We don't want it to be gossip. We want things. If you choose to look into these things, choose and decide and determine and decide now that you're going to deal with them in a healthy way that helps you, that helps the planet. Okay, like, be very clear when you get into this stuff. And this is the same thing. So let's finish this conversation about all this crazy 3D worldliness. But yeah, and for a lot of people, this is taking out a lot of like Hollywood, a lot of celebrities, right? You know, like that's what I've never had like any kind of, you feel icky. You see these celebrities and it's like, like I've never felt, I managed models. I worked for a very famous modeling agency, managing modeling and actors. And I never for 1 second, ever, like I met some of these people and I was like, I got nothing. Like, I just got nothing. And it was a blessing in a sense. Like I couldn't figure it out, but I never got starstruck. I never cared. But mostly now I see that it's because really, you know, there is such a thing. Some people are after the fame. Some people are after certain things and they'll do whatever. Sometimes they're coerced in it. But the bubble pops and then you realize it, right? And then you realize that the people that don't conform, they get taken out, and that's what happens. That's why, you know, all of the singers, it's really easy to see in the singers, all of a sudden they have a point where they go back. They go bad and they go dark and they go, you know, and ridiculous. Anyways, we've talked about this before and you guys know this very well. So the point is, there's things. So right now they're trying to enforce things and they're trying to get everybody to feel horrible and feel worried and fear. If ever you watch something and you're like, oh, shit, you know what I mean, like that, clear that out, get in the higher vibration. Clear it out, get in the higher vibration. That's not what you want to manifest. If you feel like, oh crap, travel may get canceled, oh crap, now I can't do this, if you feel those feelings, clear them out, visualize the way you want it to be. Clear them out, visualize the way you want it to be. It's our job to hold realities in place. We didn't come here to live in the world that we see. We came here to create a new one. This is the one that we have to hold, and it's up here. It's a job. It's not easy. It's a job. You have to hold like entire realities in place so that the world that you see matches the other one, right? So it has to come up here. Instead of you lowering down, it has to come up. That's what we want. So they want to do it because they want to pass laws, blah, 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 blah. Don't feed into that, okay? If you choose to look into that, always feel higher, always visualize. Like when I go into a store and, you know, they enforce masks or whatever, first of all, I avoid stores where they enforce masks. Not a thing. And the place that, because that's like, shut up, right? That's like, hey, we don't care about your throat chakra activation. We really don't care what you have to say. You could probably stop breathing too, and that would be great because the planet is overpopulated. So why don't you put on a mask? Like, it's just dumb. Because we now know that this thing is not contagious. Like, we're very clear on this, right? Like, it's not a thing. The only way that you catch it is if you're vibrating so low, or if your body's already deteriorating, like if you're old, right? This is the reason why like older people catch it. And so you have to like be in a state of fear or lower vibration or deterioration in order to catch it. And they actually did some like bio engineering on it, so it targets specific people. So just quit fearing it and go feel healthy. That's your job, okay? Because then you don't get it. But if you're worried about it, then you probably, in a chain of events, you will probably be exposed to something that will happen. But if you don't, you won't get it. Like, to me, it's very clear. Like, that's not my jam. That's not my virus. That's not my thing. That's not catching me. I'm not catching, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's not a thing. So I don't care where I go. It's kind of like when you're a mom. Think about it this way. When you're a mom and your kids are sick and you're showing up for your kids, do you catch what they have all the time? No, because you have to show up for them. So you're holding energy of the healer, right? And like, or dads don't get sick from what their kids have. I mean, maybe once in a while. But the only reason why you get it is because you're run down. It's because you need a break too. And because your immune system is like, yeah, I need some time out. Let me just catch this thing. But that's why, okay? So just don't be worn out. Like, have your energy running high. That's always the solution. And you will, we need to plug in. We'll just keep going for a minute. So, okay. Will the dark energy people try and physically attack the light workers on this earth plane? No, it's not a physical thing. This is vibrational warfare. Okay, so this is energetic, this is mental warfare, this is in the radio waves, this is in the TV waves, this is in all of the frequency channels that you can't see, but that bombard you every day. It's in the ads, it's in everything. Just like when you turn on the radio, it's a great question. When you turn on the radio and you hear a tune and you don't like it and you change into another one, those are broadcasted all the time. It's just that the radio is a translator. It's a box that picks up the frequency and translates it into music, right? But that means that it's being broadcasted all the time, which is why people that are very sensitive or empaths, like, you always need to, like, you know, keep your aura on lockdown, in terms of, not lockdown, because now that became like a bad word, but, you know, you need to keep it like solid so that you're fortified and that you're not picking that stuff up. But there's always stuff in the airways. That's why, like, you pick up other people's thoughts, like, the more your psychic abilities come online, like, you know, all that. Okay, so we talked about that. The mask is not good. Some people have asked me what I think about the mask. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think it's made to make people shut up. It makes you like, stay put your mask on, stop talking, nobody cares, right? Like, it's kind of that feeling. It's the opposite of everything. And then it gets people feeling separate because it gets people fearing each other because, oh my God, that person doesn't have a mask, or that person has a mask. Like, judgment, separation, and, you know, everything else. So, okay, so there's that. So then, what else did I get asked about? Vaccines. What do I think about vaccines? I think we're here to evolve. We are here, like, this is the evolution of the human species, and we're evolving into our light body. So we're evolving into a place where our vibration is like corrosive to these other chemicals or things, right? I feel like our energy will get to a point where if something else happened, just like, it's not, if you're vibrating high enough, you don't you're not in the wavelength of a disease, okay? You're not catching it. You're just not there. It's like you're basically invisible to it because you're vibrating at a different frequency. It's the same thing. So if something gets in your system, but it doesn't vibrate with where you're at, your system is gonna get rid of it. You're gonna alchemize it. You're gonna transmute it. You're gonna, you know, whether it's actually like a pleasant thing or not, that I can't tell you. You may have to puke it out or poop it out or, you know, something. But I'm saying your system will eject it. Like either you can alchemize it, right? So it's kind of like, think about when you take a drug that makes you feel like shit, or if you eat a bunch of white sugar, right? And you're just like, oh, which is the same thing as a drug. Like it's worse, depending on the drugs. But anyways, the point is like your body has to go through it. And sometimes in order to kill it, you get a temperature, right? And you get a fever and your body is like fighting the thing and then it's like annihilating it. That's what's gonna happen. If you have to get a vaccine because you have to get a vaccine, support your body in fighting the damn thing. Kill the thing, get it done. It's done. Believe you can do it, you will do it, okay? It's not, we don't need to get into like fear campaigns and all of that stuff. Like, oh my God, now they're gonna vaccinate everybody. No, just stay in alignment and you will be held. Either you will not have to receive the vaccine or you will have the resources inside of your body and you will be led to the resources inside of your body in order to get rid of it, right? So it's like, I'm sure we'll figure it out because we always figure it out. Like there will be foods or things or, you know, whatever that will help to clean it out. It just has to, because remember, in our universe, every time there is a problem, the solution is born with the problem. It exists, okay? And so our job is to get better and better and better at energy alchemy so that no matter what the thing is, even if the thing is physical, our energy alchemy can, you know, ta-da, done. So, and it's real. By the way, let's have a moment about how energy alchemy is real. Do you guys remember a while ago, the story I'm telling you is about healing that I did on myself. Do you guys remember how I was at the other house and all of a sudden I had a moment where I moved. I pinched myself in a couch, with a couch, and I dislocated like 3 of my ribs and like all of my back was like, what the hell? And then I healed it. I healed it by meditation, and then somebody was like, oh my God, did you really do that? Like, should you still get checked out by a doctor? And I doubt it. For one split 0.01 second, I doubted it. Boom, the thing came back, the ribs were out. And then it was over and I had to heal it the old school way, meaning I actually had to go and work with a chiropractor. It was very painful. So during this last trip in Lake Powell, guess what happened? Mama's rib came out because I was swimming with a mermaid tail, which video's still to come. But that's a workout. Mermaids, it's a workout. And so I'm sitting there and I want to do tricks in the water because it's fun. And my ribs just go, and I was like, damn it. And I was like, I'm not telling anybody and I'm going to heal this. Henry was the only one that knew. And I was in pain for one night. And then the next day I really put some effort into it and I meditated it and I like put my bones back and I visualized them and I healed it. And I didn't say anything to anybody because now I learned my lesson, like keep my miracles. And so until I'm solid, right? I have to be solid, then I can share them and then nobody can shake me. And so I didn't say anything. And then the following day, Henry was like, what happened to your rib? I was like, it's good. It's done. I did it. Like, no big deal. But that's the thing. Now I know that I can do it and I will not doubt myself, right? And so it's a thing. And sometimes, I mean, we're still having a human experience and we'll need, you know, things. But for the most part, we can get really good and really brilliant about the alchemy and the power of our mind and the power of our energy. So don't underestimate that. And these are all the things that like so many people, so many of you guys, so many of our soul family that was in the mastermind is like, holy shit, these skills are now keeping me sane. These skills, the things that I learned in the mastermind, now I can do life. Like I can actually handle this. This so makes sense, right? Because you learn to be in charge of yourself and then you're good. That's the gold, right? So it's just, you have to know the tools. You have to know the tools. You have to do the alchemy. Okay, questions. So, okay. Oh, love you guys. Oh, you guys are talking about all sorts of things. Yes. Triggers. I'm catching up. Okay. Oh, we're talking back about Q here. Watch some videos with Q and a little about what's going on. It didn't sit well. I wasn't sure. Yeah, and there's people, you know, Q is not just one person. Q is many people, and so it just depends on who the source is, and then sometimes they kind of have to, like, you know, do the political thing because it is a political thing. You know, I mean, Q was born when Trump was born, and, you know, everything is like, da-da-da-da-da, right? And there's weaving. So the only way to know, it's not that one, so you cannot just trust one source. Like, you know, you have to know how to vet it out for yourself. And that is the thing. Okay. So, yep, you have to be smart and awaken up. There's just no excuse. Like when I see these things today, I shared someone's post, and it's a good point, but it's like, it's been there, done that, old news, like, you know, all of these years of school, and they didn't teach us how to, you know, clear our chakras or align our chakras and like deal with our stuff. Yeah, nobody taught us that. We're done. We're over that part. Like, let's move on from the bitching and let's actually do the work, because like awareness is the first step, but we gotta do the work. Like, we're manifesting a new earth, you guys. We're not here to bitch about the things that we didn't get. We're gonna go get them. Okay, so that's the job. Okay. Yeah, I never looked up to celebrities. We're our own fucking celebrities, you guys. Like, you all are the heroes of your life. Like, the fastest you figured out. Today I sung a song. If you haven't seen the story, I came home and I told Henry, I was like, I actually sung a song to everybody on Instagram. It felt like a bedtime story, but it was actually a song. But yeah, there's a hero in everyone. You are the hero of your own journey. You really are. And the quicker you figure it out, like, that's who you got to look up to. It's you, your higher self, you know, God, like, creator of all that is, however you relate. But like, that's where you're at. That's where your alignment is at. It's not out there to anybody else. It's you and you. Always, always, always. So, okay. How are the people stuck in the dark energy going to react to light workers on this earth plane? That's not our job to worry about. So when you are in the light, you're holding this reality and you're not available for that. You're not available for it. Reaction is a state of being that any person that has mastered light and energy is just not. Reaction means that you're in your fight or flight mind, which means that you're allowing the lower vibrational part of you to take over. Sometimes that's an instinct, like when you have to run away from, you know, like a hunter animal that's chasing you, and like fight or flight mind comes in and you gotta go. But that's literally like the PTSD part of us from our, you know, early human family, when they had to like run, you know, from the days of the caves and stuff, the caveman and stuff. But the point is, reaction is not a thing, it's action. So we disengage and then we act. And so people that are going to be reacting, you just want to be in your lane. We don't provoke them, you stay in your lane, right? You're doing your work, you're in your light, you're doing your thing. And if you are doing that, you have to be very clear. Like, if you're around people that you think that you may trigger, you have to be very clear. When you take action, take clean action. Your energy has to run clear, because you don't want to do it and say, and then afterwards you're like, I knew they were going to get mad about that. That's bullshit. Don't do it to begin with. Okay. It's the same thing. Like, you know, when you were a kid and you asked your parents and you already knew they were going to say no, but you like had the balls to go and ask them anyways. It's the same thing. Inside, you already know if you're going to trigger someone or not. You just have to take the time to figure it out for yourself. So when I tell you guys to get really honest and really clear about things, that's what I'm talking about. Like, get very clear. What do you want? What are you taking action for? What do you want to happen as a result? Do you feel in alignment with that? Then move and do it. If not, don't fucking do it, because it's going to get confusing and it's going to get messy and you're not going to get what you want out of it, right? So let's be clear about our job. And then it's not our job to worry about the consequences for other people, because we are here to do the job we came to do. Okay, so. All right. Okay. So, and the people, okay, you guys are talking about moving. You do have to feel, you have to be in a place where you feel supported by the earth. So if you're a light worker, it's very important right now that you feel supported by wherever the land is, okay? And if you don't feel supported and if you don't have the ability to move, then figure out a way to harmonize with the land. Buy plants, get water jars, right? Moon water jars, like harmonize the place so that you feel like you're vibing with the earth. It's very, very important. Hang on, I gotta plug my phone in. All right. Here we go. Now I have that song stuck in my head again. Okay. Yes, fuel your body with good nutrition. I love that you guys are answering each other's questions. Project Bluebeam. Okay, so we all know, like, let's talk about the aliens. The aliens are real. They're not aliens. They're star beings. There are, you know, brothers and sisters from other worlds. There's like a million motherfucking worlds out there. We're not the only people. You know, like, I mean, we're over this conversation. It just gets really weird to think that they look different. And I think that's where a lot of people still get like a little bit weirded out by it. Because when you think of like the star beings and the guides as like your angels, then it's like not confrontational. But when you think that it's a person that looks a little different and they may have like 6 fingers or super tall or like, you know, their skin is different, their eyes are different, like they may have cat eyes and like, you know, it's a little different. But that's, you know, it's part of like, we're figuring this out, we're growing. So let's get with the higher senses and let's perceive our guides, our angels, our people, you know, the star groups that are coming to talk to us. Like, use your senses, turn them on and define it, define your experience. You know, stop being scared. Stop, like literally stop being scared. Like, define what you want. Don't be scared. Be available for what it is that you want. Don't be scared of what you don't want. Just decide that you're not available for it, okay? Like, this, like, we really have to grow up really fast, you guys. Like, it's just that time. So there's no more room because it's almost trendy to, like, there's the people that talk about the aliens and it's like, oh my gosh, and like this and this and this. Not gonna get you anywhere, okay? You want the real talk, the real relationship, the real connection with your star family, because these are the star systems that we lived in before. Do you really think that your like soul was like nowhere else before here? Do you, like, in the vastness of the universe, the solar system, the universe and the universes and the galaxies, like, I mean, it's just insane. I posted a video. If you have a, you know, any kind of any kind of questions about the fact that, you know, there's other people in the solar system, in the galaxy, in the galaxies, in the universe, in the universes, in the multiverse, like, go watch the video, go see how many worlds there are, and then tell me for whatever reason we're the only inhabited planet. Like, you guys, I think it's just our, you know, for a lot of people, it's the mental capacity to grasp that these beings look different. That's all. But, you know, it's not that far out. Like, think about the way that we look here on planet Earth. We're all kind of different, right? People in China look different than people in the US. People look different in Mexico. People look different in South America. Like, we look different. So it's just more different, but it's fine. Souls are souls are souls. That's where we get along, right? So that's where we can all speak to each other. So it doesn't have to be weird. We just make it weird. Stop making it weird, people. I need to like write a post about that. Stop making it weird. Okay, we're all family in the stars. We know where we come from. Okay, so, all right. I feel like we're getting places. Yeah, great perspective. Believe you can heal your body. Yeah, absolutely, you guys. I mean, we're here to improve ourselves. Like, don't ever believe Main Street. Decide what you want and then go after it. Like, for me, I'm very clear. I get to be the example of what is possible. You know, I get to make my rules. I was talking to Henry last night, and we were talking about some just like general world things. And he said, you know, some of the things that you say, like, some people could put you in a psych ward. You know, like, psychiatrists could actually be like, whoa. And you know what? The truth is, I have psychiatrists that are actually clients of mine. Psychiatrists get readings from me. So I was like, that's not the way the world works anymore, actually, because psychiatrists are starting to realize that their stuff has holes in it. They don't know where to turn. Guess where they come? to the people that know the energy and know how to actually do that other stuff without the drugs, right? Without the straitjackets, where you can actually harmonize with what is. That's right. So that's a thing. So the world that we're creating is different. There's no precedent for it. That's what we're here for it. So we get to be New Earth. We get to be the example of how to do New Earth. We are the ones that came to create the new rules. We're the one that came to create the new systems. We're not here to succumb. We're not here to conform. We're not here to adapt. We're the motherfucking black sheeps of the world. Right? More like the black ops. Because we have to change it. And we have to do the things that we got to do. And it's inside of us. The information comes from inside, and then we get to put it out. And, you know, thankfully, my life has provided me, or I've had to work for, so many skills to where I have been able to put them into, like, everything that I know on the inside, scariest thing I've ever done, I figured out how to put it in an outside format so that I could teach you guys, right? This is stuff that I teach you guys in the courses. But everything comes from the inside. And so for me, it took a long road, but I've been able to condense it and teach you guys really cool things. And it's very important now, and I feel it now more than ever, which is why, you know, I'm in full support in all the ways that I keep, like, okay, there's this options for this course and this option, and you guys that need this, like, I want so badly, like, I want to support you guys because I know that the time is critical. I mean, you just have to look outside at our world, and you know that it's like mission critical for those of us that, you know, came here to show up and to do what we got to do. So it's a big deal. Speaking of, yes, power of the mind. Mastermind is life-changing. Yay! Oh my gosh, I love you guys. Yes, everybody that's in it, and we're going to do it again. So the mastermind, we're going to do it again. It's going to be live in the fall for the equinox. So those of you that are waiting for that next level occult, like secret knowledge, like, you know, the alchemy, like that next level stuff, then that's the mastermind. That's the thing that you want. And that's in the fall. You can already pre-register for it and get access to some of the modules that will get you doing the work right now. But the course that I am currently teaching, you guys, is Goddess and Gods on Mission. And that's the one that's happening right now with the energy of the solstice. So let's talk about it really quick, because registration is closing tomorrow, and this is the last window that I have for it. I love you guys. I hold people, like, do you know why registration is a big deal to me? And it's not just like a course. Every time one of you registers energetically, I connect with you. I welcome you. I bring you in. I'm very clear. I have intentions for every one of you. This is why you guys feel held. You know, like, you come here, you come on the lives, or like, even a lot of you realized it right when I was gone and when I was in Lake Powell, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize, like, the energy, like, I miss it. I really do, like, I'm very clear on the output of energy and support and the connection, right, that I provide. And I constantly work on growing my energy and expanding my energy so I can hold more and more of you guys and provide this platform, provide this stuff. So it's a very personal thing, right? I'm very clear. This is soul family. When you guys come in and, like, you know, work on the courses, like, I'm there. I'm with you energetically. I support you, you know, and it's just, it's a thing. So it does require the things, practical things, energetic things, meditation things, you know, all of the things, because I hold you guys in my meditations too. And that's why you feel it. So there's a lot of alchemy that happens behind all the courses. And Goddess and Gods on Mission is actually where I teach you how to do what I do. So you get to learn all of these steps, right? Like, if you guys saw my business, how it grew, the things that I've been able to do, and the fact that it's been me, and like for the past year, I've had Carrie, I hired Carrie to help me, which, by the way, Carrie just got promoted, you guys. So can we have a shout out to Carrie whenever Carrie sees this? That's awesome. So she's helping me with more things right now. Do you know how good I feel about being able to do that? It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So the way that you could see that you know, seeing my business grow, it doesn't make any sense. In the 3D world, it doesn't make any sense. The amount of people I help, the amount of people I'm able to help, the messages I answer every day, the content I create, the way that the website works, the fact that I do everything. I do my video editing, I do like the website, I do everything. And like Carrie helps me with like emails and the Facebook group. and some of the tech things. And so it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It also doesn't make any sense that there's literally like, I think I have, as of now, 1,300 of you in my email list. I haven't even sent you guys an official email for Goddess on Mission. And like, I think it's like 35 of you have registered for it, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But do you know what makes sense is the work that I do behind the scenes, and that's the stuff that I teach you how to do for your business. You have to be in alignment in order to do the work, which is why, you know, that's the first part of the course. And then you can grow the business doing it in alignment. And it's a function of doing the work, it's a function of belief systems, and it's a function working with systems that are landed and that tap into the new earth structures, not the old ways, right? Because in new earth, people are not numbers, and like, it's just not, it doesn't work the same way, okay? So there's new ways of doing business. It's all from the soul, and you have to rip your heart open. Like, if your heart's not open, you're not gonna do business in new earth in a way that works. And the trippiest thing, you guys, is that the work that you do in new earth is the work that you would do for free. It's the stuff that your soul came here to do, right? It's that work. And you actually get to be supported doing it, because this is like, to me, every time, it's like the money is flowing. First of all, we talk about money a lot in the business growth and the technical part of the course, because it's about expanding. It's about the energy that you can hold. It's about believing that you can, believing that you are worthy, which a lot of us didn't grow up feeling that we were worthy, that we were enough, that we could afford, that we could do, right? So it's a lot of that has to happen, because the money needs to come in the hands of the people that are building new earth. Because, you know, there's lots of money and lots of resources flowing around in the world, but somehow the people doing the skeezy things are getting a hold of it, and I'm kind of done with that shit. So I want it over here in the hands of the people, you know, in the hands of my people, in the hands of my soul family. And I say that in a way, I mean, it's not, you know, you guys know what I mean. Like, that's the reason why I support you. Like, in Goddess and Gods on Mission, like, you guys saw Diana here last night hosting her rose ceremony. You know, it was just so amazing for me to see, like, those of you, you know, that have like started your businesses, like, to be able to support you, to see her, you know, charge at the door, to be able to provide a space for her, which she didn't have to, you know, pay for the space, and just for her to just make money doing the thing that she came on planet Earth to do, which is clearly to work with roses. Amazing. And it was magical and it was wonderful. But to be able to support that, to be able to support you guys in doing these things, like, my heart could explode. Like, I want all of you to make money doing the things that you came on the planet to do, because that's our job. And clearly there's a lot of people that need the healing, right? So those of us that are like through this phase right now, think about all the people that are going to need the healing. They're not going to need a doctor. They're going to need an ascension specialist when their symptoms cannot make sense anywhere else, right? Do you see what I'm saying here? There's room. There's room. There's room. There's room. So those of you that feel called to Goddess and Gods on Mission, this is the work that we do. We do the internal work, and then we do the business and the growth work, and we talk about money. You actually get to meet my mentor, Gary. Oh, we have a minute remaining. And yeah, it's an amazing, it's a life-changing course. So, you know, we do the soul work, we do the business work, and you're ready to go after. So check it out. It's at www.moonbabetribe.com. Click on Goddess and Gods on Mission, and then message me here at MoonBabes and the Light Tribe if you have questions, because once I close registration this time, it's done, okay? So let me know if you have questions. I love you guys so much. And I'm going to come on for another live tomorrow night. So we're going to have a Tuesday night live also, because clearly there's just so much going on. See, it's never enough. And I know that you guys have like more questions, so we'll get it figured out. If you had a question here, go copy and paste it. These questions, for some reason, they don't translate to the IGTV, so I don't see them. I lose these. Okay, so if you remember what you said and you want to message me, or you just saw things pass, I love it. I wish I could save all of these. So, okay. I love you guys so much. I will see you soon. Check my stories and read the posts too. There's a lot of energy in the posts. Mwah. I love you guys. Sonia G. This is MoonBabes Monday Night Live. I will see you soon. Mwah.